Alan Gonsenhauser. My company is Demand Revenue. I've been in marketing and general management many, many years. I've been a CMO 11 times, 7 at full-time companies, and 4 interim roles since I started Demand Revenue 4 years ago. Started in finance, so I get along very well with CFOs always. And what I do in my business, I mentor and coach CMOs. I've actually coached over 150 CMOs and marketing leaders. And I can come on as an interim CMO or a fractional, generally for private equity portfolio companies, or help CMOs and chief customer officers with projects they need to do. So that's what I do, and a little bit about me. I'm in the Boston area also, Central Mass.
Okay, so let's talk about a day one scenario, right? If you show up at a brand new client, brand new engagement, first time ever working with them, what's the dream scenario you're walking into, and what's the nightmare scenario you're walking into?
Well, dream is they want help. I haven't had a nightmare scenario yet, but first thing I try to get behind me is how am I going to get paid? So I get to know the accounts payable clerk and the CFO, and we set that even before I start. So
Well,
every
hopefully.
month, or a quarter, I can contact them and figure that out. But really, not only the first day, but the first month at least, I ask a lot of questions to try to understand from the organization, from the C-suite, and from the marketing group what their successes are. What are they proud of? What have they done really well? And then, where are the gaps? If they had 3 wishes to change something, what would they be? And I try to get a mixed view from a cross section of people, the marketing folks, but also different functions on how they view marketing and what some of the business challenges are, so I can get a baseline for the company to, in essence, become them. Because even though it's an interim or fractional role in a role like that, it's really important to understand the company, their products and services, what their strengths and weaknesses are, what their value proposition is to the market. Is it clear? And how I can be most helpful without coming in like I know the answers, or coming in on a ton of bricks. I do a lot of listening.
Right.
Probably the first month.
So the CEO talks to you, you're 90 days in, okay, on your engagement. CEO says, yeah, I understood the value prop of bringing you in. Everything's been going fine. I got to tell you, though, I had an aha moment last night. I didn't really understand what a fractional CMO, or you in particular, were going to bring to this until last night, when it finally occurred to me and I had my aha moment. What's the aha moment?
The aha moment is you see some changes in the organization. Maybe their value proposition wasn't clear, and that's now been clarified. And maybe the aha moment is, the CEO thought that marketing was just there to spend money, but it's not. It's there to crystallize the value proposition, who they're marketing to, their ideal customer profile, so they can be as productive as possible. And marketing is not only about new business acquisition of new logos, but it's about growing and expanding your customer base, creating a wonderful customer experience, and driving retention and financial impacts that are long term and in terms of short term. So I think part of it is maybe understanding what marketing is today versus what it used to be. And it's multidimensional. I think that could have been an aha moment after 90 days.
And Alan, let's talk about this. Let's put you up on a stage. I know that you give speeches and talk to groups. So
Sometimes, yes.
So you're talking to this audience of new fractional CMOs, and once you have your little chuckle about how crazy they are for leaving corporate and going out on their own, and you start talking to them and say, like, look, I know you're starting out. I've been doing this for quite a while now. I'm over like 1,000+ days into it. And let me explain a few things. One of them is, I think you're going to be surprised as a new fractional CMO by what?
First, how the knowledge you've built up over years and the problems you've seen again and again, solving the same kind of problems that you know so well, you could almost solve them in your sleep, is really valuable and can be monetized, number one. And is fun to share your knowledge.
Yeah.
And number two, you can make a lot of money doing this. You can make a lot more money than you made in corporate. And people maybe don't realize that. But if you do it right, and you leverage your network, it's not that hard to make some money doing this, which is really a nice benefit.
Right. And then as you continue talking to them, you're giving them sort of the ins and outs of what to do, and you'll say, like, I'll tell you something else. What I found, and what I think you're going to find, is that most companies and most clients just do not understand what.
Most companies and clients don't understand what marketing is today and how holistic marketing really is. They think of marketing as leads or marketing qualified leads or sales support, where marketing is far more. It's, what's going on in the market, it's brand reputations, impact
Mm-hmm.
on being at bat, win loss ratios, and future pipeline. It's demand, both new business and upsell, cross sell. It's customer engagement, the customer experience and retention, and sales enablement, and productivity. But what they often don't understand, if they have a unidimensional view of marketing as leads and just acquiring new logos,
Right.
is the retention and the growth aspects have far more long-term impacts on future financial results. um, and marketing influences all of that. And so kind of redefining what marketing is and driving cross-functional alignment, which is often poor in companies, are really important things to get involved in when you're approaching a company, because you know there's a wide variety of understanding of what marketing is based on past experience and prejudices in the C-suite.
Mm. And then as you're sort of leaving the stage, uh, you sort of give them one lesson, and I'm going to make it harder for you. So you say, besides personal networking, the one lesson I would give you about getting clients is what?
Narrow down.
Mm,
Understand those problems you know how to solve, what size companies and industries you did it for. And if you're just working with startups, be prepared for a lot of price negotiations. If you can work with larger companies, they're more problem sensitive versus price sensitive.
okay. Right. And then, Alan, how about you? As you're talking to a prospective client, what do they tend to underrate and overrate?
Well, overrate, I would say, also demand and customer acquisition and performance marketing is overrated, and a lot
Mm-hmm.
of companies have over rotated on that aspect. In terms of underrating, um, the customer experience, creating a remarkable customer experience that drives retention and advocates and new business from existing customers that recommend you. Also, brand reputation is really underrated, and people think of it. Oh, we don't have to make an investment. Your investment in brand today is your future pipeline, and it impacts your at bats and being on the list of vendors that are considered by the C-suite, by any member of the C-suite. There's been a lot of research to show that, and also your win loss ratio. So if you don't
Mm-hmm.
invest in brand, all of those things which are short term metrics are going to suffer, and that's often underrated in terms of marketing's impact on the customer experience and what you do, and not just focusing on NPS in terms of what the NPS rating is, what your number is, but what you do to continuously improve net promoter score by focusing on your detractors and fixing the issues they're telling you about, trying to drive your passives to be promoters, and understanding what the promoters are saying to put in your marketing in terms of um, your real advantages to the market. So a lot of that is needs to be further emphasized in terms of what marketing is today.
Mm-hmm. And then, as you're, Alan, as you're talking to prospects, and then I want to ask Faisal the same question. As you're talking to prospects, what's like one green flag and one a red flag that you keep an eye out for?
A green flag is they're looking to, and I assume we're still talking about fractional and interim work.
Mhm.
A green flag is they're looking for someone who will come in and help a lot with a strategy and
Mhm.
cross-functional strategy for growth, for retention. A red flag is they're looking at marketing as just a tactical function to, to create a website, to create different messaging, you know, messaging emails, and things like that. Um, but it should be first strategy, and then execution can be done by the internal staff or other vendors. But if the need is just execution and not strategy, I don't engage in those kinds of opportunities because they won't be a fit.
Oh, given that you're a fractional CMO, and looking back, would you change anything in your journey to becoming a fractional CMO?
The only thing I would change is I probably would have started doing it sooner because it's serendipity. It's been wonderful since I started. It's been 4 years now, and I've really enjoyed this. I have a lot more control of my time. The money's good. I have a lot of interesting assignments and work with some great people and companies, and that's the only thing I would change. I would have started sooner if I realized it was this great.
And then, Alan, who's your ideal customer profile right now, and how should they get in touch with you?
I actually have two because I coach and mentor CMOs to become indispensable. So CMOs of different or marketing leaders of different size companies, but then also in terms of fractional and interim work, private equity investors and their CEOs. I kind of begin where Faisal drops off. So I work with companies generally over 100 million into the billions,
Mm-hmm.
either health tech, SaaS, or enterprise software type companies that generally are 100 million and over. I work with private equity investors to help their portfolio companies, but I also mentor and coach a wide variety of CMOs and marketing leaders. Get a hold of me. It's demandrevenue.com, just how it sounds.